So it's 8:30 on the 5th, and man, I'm telling you, lighting. Look at yourself. Oh, she's okay. So, anyways, there was one thing because yesterday the lighting. I mean, it's the same lighting today, but it makes a difference of where you set the thing too. But still, this I was like, oh my god, it looks like this big smudge. This is one of those spots. Like I have these spots all over my face. So that's one of those spots. And so when I saw it yesterday, I was like, oh, I guess I'm going to start doing those wipes there too. And see if that spot goes lighter. I still don't know if these spots are going lighter. But I don't know. I've only been using this stuff a couple days. So I'm going to keep using it. But oh my gosh, this lighting makes me look like, fuck, go back to bed, girl. You got the biggest bags under your eyes. And I don't know. I like I like my lighting at home better. With the lighting coming towards you or something, the way the light and the shadows go, it's like, oh my god. Yesterday I was looking at that video, I was like, oh my god. But anyways, it's more important about what I talk about than what I look like. So and today I kind of feel like, what the hell am I talking about? So we'll see where it goes. But and I went to bed super late and still woke up. So it's not just the dogs waking me up. So I went to bed like 11 o'clock at night. And so, but that would be like 9 o'clock at night there. But then I got up at 6 here, which would be 4 o'clock there. So it was still from 9 to 4. And, which I like to sleep more like 7. Usually it's like 7 or 8 to 3. I guess that's the same amount. So I guess it's like the same amount of sleep. So, but today I kind of feel like, oh man, I kind of want to just take a nap, go to sleep. But then when I'm trying to sleep, it's like I can't sleep. I've had enough sleep. So, and my rings are bothering me too. And it was weird too, because when I left, you know, guys, my fingers were all swollen. But then once I had left, then it was like that the swelling was going down. I was like, I wonder if it's something at the house that makes my fingers so swollen. And which, if my fingers are swollen, I would think that it is giving more inflammation all over my whole body. But now today they kind of feel swollen again. But to this morning, when I finish this, I'm gonna go in and take a bath with apple cider vinegar. I was looking everywhere for different stuff. I should have brought like a whole detox bath thing, because my mom only has a shower and there's bathtubs all over the place here. And then I was like, oh, I could go in and take a big soak, but I don't have all of the, because when you do one of those, what is that called? When you're trying to get all the stuff out of you, whatever it's called. I don't remember. Cleansing. I don't know what the hell it's called. A detox bath. Because then the boron, which I have, bentonite clay, which I have, baking soda, which I have, and then so this is only gonna be vinegar bath. But there's a couple more things you can put in it. But anyways, big ones, bentonite clay, boron, and baking soda and vinegar. But anyways, so I'm just going to do a vinegar bath. And I still think it will pull out some toxins and stuff. But anyways, after I do this, that's what I'm going to do, is take a bath. And I was just hanging out with my brother all day yesterday. And we watched a couple. We haven't finished one. But the one we watched was called Weapons. And it's a new movie. And my daughter had asked, because my brother is really into scary movies. That's what he would make. He would write and direct them and stuff. And he started doing that when we were young. He was like, as soon as they put out video cameras, he's one of those kids that got one and was going to make little movies, and they just kept growing and growing. He was writing scripts, and he's won awards and stuff. Not big awards, what you've heard of, but in the indie kind of world, and writers or whatever. So anyways, and that's the one movie that I came over and worked on with him, was one of them. And it was like a feature film, so it was long, because he had done lots of short ones and stuff like that. But so anyways, he's really into scary movies. So my daughter said, hey, did you watch this one? And it's got really good ratings. It's like 98% Rotten Tomatoes, 89% popcorn, or something like that. And so we watched it yesterday, and it is good. It is really good. And there was some ways that the director would get his shot, in the way, like the angles and the lighting and stuff, that he does some stuff that I was like, oh my gosh, that's really cool. He had a way of getting their eyes, and there was certain things where he could just make their eyes look so creepy. The way, I think sometimes that he must have been putting some kind of liquid in there, but he would get these line, I don't know, it was cool though. But if you watch it, pay attention to their eyes. I thought that was like a unique signature code that this director had. And I don't know all his work. I never had heard of him, but he wrote and directed this movie. And so anyways, but I don't know all his work. And I don't know if that was just something he was doing in this movie or what. But anyways, it was cool. And the story, though, was really, really good. And so I don't want to give it away or anything. But there is stuff in it that I feel like is... Because this is the thing. Because you think like, well, how would all these people be giving disclosure if they're not even involved in this stuff? They're just out there living their life and stuff. But like I've said before, a lot of creative people are tapped into this the universal consciousness, even if they don't have awareness of it, and they get ideas and stuff from the universal consciousness that is giving them information. So they're passing on information, and plus it's a translation. So the information you see, you translate it, and that's the artistic representation, like how you represent the information, and how you, it's like the way the artist paints the picture, like the colors they use. So how he gives the information, but to me, the stuff is real. Like, the stuff he shows, that's not some fantasy. That is real. So, anyways, it was a good movie. There was a little bit of gore, a little bit. It wasn't as gory as like what you would think a new kind of horror movie is. But there is some gore, but the story, it's good. It's really good. And it does keep you, and I liked also the way that through the movie, he's always giving it from different perspectives. So he'll put up the person, and then they'll play out a scene from this person's perspective, but then they'll play it out from this person's perspective, because that is another thing that's like true to life. Everything has to do with your perspective. And it's also weird because people can get themselves all worked up. I was thinking about this the other day about something, and I was thinking, oh, I remember what it was. Because I was walking the dogs. Oh, it's like something stabbing me in the head. So weird. So I was walking the dogs, mine dogs, because I'll walk a couple of my mom's too. But so I was walking mine down the driveway, and Stella can be really intimidating. I already know that. And that's like one of the things I also like about her. But I'm not intimidated. I mean, but I can recognize other people are intimidated. But they don't need to be, but then you kind of want them to be. Because that's what she's there for, to keep people... She's like a guard dog. She guards me. She's like the kind of dog she is. Used to be like the kind of dog that sat next to the emperors, and you try to get too close, they would come. And it's like, don't fucking be thinking you're getting up here. And so they were big and intimidating, and they're very protective. And that's why they are good dogs for a family dog. But I don't know, because a lot of people get cane corsos. They're kind of badass, cool looking, big, muscly, kind of like a mix between a Doberman, a Pit Bull, and a Mastiff. But a Mastiff, which I have an English Mastiff, they're very gentle. They're just really big and intimidating, but they're very gentle and very protective. And they really are attached to their family. Even though a lot of times in the family, they'll pick one person to really hone in on. But since I've been her only person for her whole life, it's always been me. And so me and her are like a little team. And she's just so cute. God, I miss her. And I know that when I focus on her, that it's like a psychic connection. Like I know that she can feel me when I'm focusing on her. Like I can send her messages. Like I can lay there and meditate and put myself there with her and petting her, and I know she can feel that. So anyways, so we're walking down the driveway and she starts barking. And it used to be when she was younger. Now she's older, and it's a weird switch, because when she was younger, she'd just pull and I would just go down. It also was a lot less stable. I wasn't as strong. And I've really built myself up. And that's been a part of my healing journey and stuff, is mind, body, spirit. It has to do with, and so I built a lot of my core strength, because I didn't realize that my core strength was not well until I put it all together, that all the surgeries had, all the abdominal surgeries that they had done to me had like destroyed my core strength. And that was a part of what was causing me to fall all the time. And that's why when I hear about older people falling, it's like, you got to build your core strength. You got to build your core strength. Because now it's a lot hard. I mean, I don't fall. It's like you could like push me, and it was like I could get my balance again. I can pull myself. It's like kind of like the springs were too loose, and they didn't have any way to pull myself back, so I would just tip over. And I'm seeing all these different things, like a weeble wobbles, but it doesn't fall down. Like I'm seeing all these things, but so but then I built my strength up, and so now I don't fall over like that. And watch now the next couple weeks, and see, even if I say that, then I'll make it out. And like, okay, I'm just gonna stick with I don't fall. But anyways, but if I do, like, it's there to teach me something. So that's true. That's true. Whatever happens, it's there to teach you something. So anyways, but now a lot when she pulls, I'm so much stronger and stuff. I can pull back, and it's making her kind of stumble and fall, which makes me feel like shit. And so, but anyway, so we're walking down the driveway, and she starts like going, pulling like, I don't know how to refer to, like somebody getting in your face, like, come on. But we're over in our driveway, and he's way over, the neighbor's out, and he's way over at his. And so anyways, she starts barking, and then Archie's always got to chime in. He thinks that he's the fucking same as Stella. You ought to see them walk next to each other too. He's always like, he thinks he's a little badass. He's a little terror, but he's just the cutest little thing, and he's smart as hell. But anyways, he's funny. He's got a personality, but he's young. And so Stella starts barking, and she's loud as fuck. And so I look over, and he's like looking, the whole like look on his face and stuff, and the way he was looking over at us, I was thinking, what I picked up on is he was kind of looking to see if they were coming, but he was also kind of giving us a dirty look. And which, I could have been misreading that, I don't know. But so I can just think of my perspective, so I could focus on my perspective, and then I could look at his perspective and think like, what an idiot. She's not going to hurt you. She's not going to do it, and I could project my my thought process onto him and then judge him because he doesn't understand mine. And so then, but then I'm always getting shown these things. So then it was more like zooming in on his and then seeing like what it is to be that person and feel like, is that dog about to come get me? Is it going to get loose? Is she holding on to it? And is it going to hurt me? And so him looking over it, he's got his own perspective. It has nothing to do with your perspective. And so it's complete different ways of encountering the world around you. And one of our traps is we assume that everybody is seen through our perspective, but everybody is very unique in their perspective. And then, like I said, it creates a barrier because we don't want to acknowledge their perspective, which is completely different than our perspective. And we just get angry because they don't. It's like, well, you should see what I see. It's like, well, why? Why and how? How is someone supposed to see what you see? And so, anyways, it's just something always to keep in mind, because I think it's kind of a trap that keeps us divided. And so it's a lot more productive if you don't sit there and think, you know, judge other people because they should see things the way you see them, to be able to flex out, you know, and be like, oh, look, they're having a whole perspective over, it's like this meeting, this encounter of energies in whatever they're getting from it, because I still don't know. I don't know him. I didn't talk to him. I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know if he was just looking over like, God, that loud ass bitch. I'm not even awake yet. I have no idea what his experience was. But there was a meeting of experiences at that meeting point, like a transit point and a convergence site, which that was also had something about this convergence in that movie, The Weapons, because there was a lot of things, but I just don't want to say because you should just go watch it. And just keep in mind, like, oh, this is true. This isn't just made up stuff. This isn't folklore. This is true. And while we were watching it, we had to pause it a few times, and so I would start telling my brother what I thought was going on, and I think I was pretty accurate. I'm pretty good about that. That's what I always appreciate when I'm watching a mystery or watching a movie and it throws me, because that's hard to do. To all of a sudden twist where I didn't see it, and there's been a few. There was one, oh my God, it was so good. It was on Netflix, and I saw it a few years ago. I probably talked about it when I saw it. And it was one of those about consciousness, switching bodies. And it's been through so many of our different movies, and people just don't get it, especially when they give you labels like demons, and demons are doing it, and all this shit. It's souls, it's consciousness, and it is like advanced consciousness. And when you keep yourself in lower mentality of understanding yourself, then it like opens you as a free door to enter. That's where people like go, well, they were possessed or something. Well, you can't be possessed if you're strong enough to push back. Nothing can come in and take you over, and it's easy to go, well, like we see people who are taken over all the time. They come and they integrate into your mind and your thoughts, into your comprehension of self. So you lose yourself, and then they can take you over. And then they put it in movies as being more the extreme, and then they label it as demons and devils and stuff like that. But it is just a more advanced consciousness, and you giving an open door. And so that's one thing why you got to really be aware of who you are. And this is another thing too, because even if you do get lost, pull yourself back to yourself, ground back into you, find yourself every time you get lost. And it's weird because anywhere you go, there's different energies, and it can bring different parts of you out. And so it's weird because you get back around your siblings and stuff, and different family stuff comes up, and then you find yourself talking about this or talking about that. And so then, in a sense of reflection, then it's like, well, am I shit talking? Am I being a bitch? Am I trying to get something from this? Am I trying to be hateful? Am I just talking about my experience? You know, what am I doing, and what am I trying to get from this and stuff? And because sometimes you're just talking about things, but I don't know, everything is this gray. Everything is this like maneuvering and keeping yourself in your lane and being real with yourself. And one thing is the being real with yourself isn't to contain you more. It's more so as to not build up things that you don't want to be there, like entanglements, like bad karma kind of thing, which I've realized over the last couple, because my sister's coming, and we haven't seen each other in a while, and throughout our whole life, she's always looked at me as like the wacko. She's always been like, I'm the younger sister, but I'm really the older sister, because she thinks she's way smarter than me, and I'm not. I'm out there, Miss Flake or whatever. And then the last time when she was here, and my mom was here at the same time, my mom said she just kept making all these things about how crazy I am. Oh, Kelly thinks it's the flat earth. She's so crazy and stuff like that. And so, and my sister, she's coming in a couple days, and she's coming tomorrow morning. And so now she's getting really excited. She's getting excited to see me. And they, which then I'm like, is she gonna be just trying to trigger me, trying to push me, trying to piss me off? And because there's a lot of history. We have a lot of history in our relationships and stuff. And so, and stuff can stem back to the toxic upbringing, you know, and then it plays out through your life. And like when we were younger, she had a tendency, if I liked this guy, well, she's gonna go sit on his lap. It was like a competition or something. And so anyways, that's a whole thing. But so anyways, we were watching this movie, Nobody 2, last night. We watched a few movies, Nobody 2, but I was like, man, this whole movie is just one fight scene after another. And they were all enjoying it, but yeah, that's not like my jam. It's just like, it's like intense, it's a lot of stuff going, there's a lot of, I don't know. But anyways, that's the movie that was on, and that's what I kept noticing, like, oh my God, it's just like this fight all the time. I mean, there's probably a little bit more to the storyline, but it's like a CIA agent going against the cartel or something like that. And Sharon Stone is the madam of the cartel, which is a true thing. There really is this woman who runs it, one of the families in South America or something. And she may be Mexican, but I think she's in South America. And it's a female, and she's supposed to be the most wicked of all of the different ones. Like, she's really wicked. And so I think Sharon Stone was supposed to be kind of representing her. And anyways, but that one was on. My sister was texting me. And at some point, I'm like, are you drunk or something? Like, what the hell is she saying? The most weirdest shit. And she's like, well, I took a sleeping pill. I'm like, oh my God, go to sleep. She says, what? She was like, oh, we should go around and go see some of the places that we haven't seen in a long time. I was like, there's not gonna be time for that. We have just the weekend, and then there's a lot going on over the weekend. And she says something about, let's go to Earl, and then we'll go to the Earl. And she puts it in quotation marks. She goes, what's the Earl? She said it was all in one thing. I was like, I said, well, I don't even know. talking to yourself at this point. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. And so I was like, are you drunk or something? Like, what the hell? And, but I think she's excited. But then she's also, she was like so much weird stuff. She's like, she would go bouncing back and forth, like, if I was here yet or if I was still at home. She'd be like, well, bring this. I was like, I'm already here. I've been here for a couple of days. What are you talking about? And she goes, oh, yeah, I forgot. And then a few minutes later, she'd be like, oh, did you bring your tattoo machines? I was like, no, I don't even tattoo anymore. She goes, well, we'll get your tattoo machines. And I was like, I don't even have them. I gave them to my granddaughter. I don't even have them anymore. And she's like, oh, too bad. Well, I wonder if we could go get some. I'm like, you need way more than just that. And besides, she was always like, oh my God. But now all of a sudden, she wants a bunch of tattoos, apparently. And she's like, well, you should get them, and then you should come to North Carolina. Well, she's in South Carolina now. Come there, and then tattoo me and my family. I'm like, I just have told you, I don't even tattoo anymore. I stopped when my eyes were going bad. Now my eyes are good, and I can do it still. But now I'm just like, no, I've got all these fucking whatever. I don't know. I think, because people were like, it's like an allergy or something. Like there's something in the ink that's causing problems now, like a toxin or something in people's bodies or something. And it's like people are getting the allergies to their tattooing. But I was thinking also, I think it maybe just like a change in the vibration, like the vibration is separating. I don't know. I don't know. And then I see so many videos now of people like, oh, I wish I didn't have all these tattoos. Why'd I get all these tattoos? So, I don't know. There's just like a change in the air. Like the med beds, I don't know. I feel like that's going to take all the toxins out. And I think that's going to remove tattooing because I think it is the toxins. And I don't want to go putting toxins in people's bodies anymore. And, but I used to do like art and stuff on them, not just like most tattoo artists. If you were go and ask them for certain types of tattoos, like certain things, symbols and stuff that represent division and hate, that they wouldn't do it. No, that's really hard to go find something like that in a shop. And if you find a shop that will do that kind of stuff, it's seedy. It's very seedy. It's probably gang related. And so, anyways, but anyways, so she was like, for me to go and do tattoos, and then she was always like anti-weed smoking or something. And she's like, oh, do you think you can take weed pens on the plane? I'm like, what? I don't know. I don't think so. They ask you when you're coming in to the thing, do you have any batteries like for vaping and stuff? So that's the same kind of thing. And for one thing, it's one thing to smoke a plant, but it's another to put it into an oil form. I think that that's bad. And that's like putting oil into your lungs, into your avatar hologram lungs. It just trips me out how it's not real, but we have real effects but the effects are kind of still the lessons and learning. It's like the parameters, the walls to keep you focused on mind, body, spirit. What is my body telling me here? What is my body telling me there? So that you can pull into your own self, into your own lessons or learning or whatever. So anyways, I don't even know what it's going to be like when she gets here. I have no idea. But it's funny because now I haven't smoked since I said I quit smoking. It was about, I think it seems like it's like a month ago, maybe even longer now. I don't know. Time's so weird. But I don't drink, I don't smoke or anything. I'm just, but anyways, she's just yakking until she passed out. So, anyways, but we started a movie yesterday also, and then my brother fell asleep halfway through, and it is what's his name? Because he keeps popping into my stuff. Because out of the blue, a TikTok came up talking about Pete Davidson. And TikTok came up talking about his new girlfriend being pregnant in this photo thing they did on Twitter or something to show she was pregnant. And I was like, dang, man. Last I heard, he was with Kim Kardashian or something. Like, he just is like, going through. Like, he was with Ariana Grande, and I mean, he's making the rounds. And some of the, I don't know. It's like, okay, is this his initiation into the I don't know, the crew control mechanism? But the so anyways, it showed this picture of this girl and him standing, and it looked kind of like she was really pushing her stomach out and her butt out, but I guess it was to show her pregnancy. So I don't know, I don't even know how far she is or whatever. But the thing that got me on the picture is like, he's 6'4", and this girl was like way as tall as him. And so then I'm like, this must be, I don't have any idea who she is. I was like, this must be a model or something. Because how could she be that fucking tall? Because he's tall as fuck in the picture in their phone. And I was like, I wonder if she's standing on something. Because it's like their stomachs are like touching. And, but anyways, so he had come into this thing. So anyways, my brother had put in these movies when my sister or my daughter said, have you seen Weapons? So we went and he downloaded some movies. And it just so happened this other movie, because he put on 4, Naked Gun 2, which, oh, man. Yeah, I don't know. The only time I laughed was, it was a pretty disgusting scene. I was like, oh my God, what's wrong with you? But the same kind of jokes. And the thing, because we were talking about it later, and because they were all excited. They thought it was just going to be hilarious. And then they weren't laughing. I think they laughed a few times, and it just became like silent. And we're just all watching the movie, and it's like, and they try and do these jokes and stuff. But Leslie Nielsen, he could pull, like, there's certain people who can play a character, and then they go and try and copy that character, like Peter Sellers, and they try and put in somebody else to be as funny as him as the Pink Panther. You can't just, when somebody is this authentic character, and then you want to just redo it. You just want to, oh, well, that works, so let's just put another one in. And then put a Liam Neeson, put him in. It was like, no. The whole time it's like, I don't know, it was so forced. It's like, no, he's not a funny guy. He's a serious kind of, and he is always in these movies of, I don't know, Bruce Willis type of movies or something. He's battling these cartel or whatever. He's gonna go take down the gang who kidnapped his daughter or whatever the hell. So he's always in those kind of movies, and more serious. And then they put him in this one, and it was just like, oh, so awkward. And it was like, he's not Leslie Nielsen, which I think is the guy's name who did the original. And that guy, he was like a serious looking guy, but he would be such a goofus. Same with Get Smart and stuff. So there was different ones. But so, because I was like, did we used to laugh at that stuff? And now it's just not funny? I don't get it, because it was like so. And they were like, no, I just think it wasn't funny. It just didn't have, the jokes weren't just they weren't good, but it was the same kind of style. But it was such a, it has a high Rotten Tomatoes too. It was like, man, that was a dud. And then supposedly it made a lot of money at the box office, an opening. But then I guess another thing, because I've seen this on the internet, is that they were saying they created this pretend relationship with Pamela Anderson and Liam Neeson to draw in people to want to see the movie. And so a whole bunch of people went and saw it in the opening, and they made like 81 billion, whatever the fuck it is, dollars. But then it comes out, no, that was a pretend relationship just to get people to be interested in the movie. But then the movie was just a dud. I thought, I don't know, everybody's got their own opinion. But anyways, I didn't find it funny. And I thought it was like, the casting was off. I mean, Pamela Anderson's okay as the blonde bombshell, but that's kind of, she's playing the blonde bombshell, like what she always is playing. But But she had a little bit of goofiness, but I think, I don't know, she could pull that off more. And, you know, blonde, ditzy, I don't know. But Liam Neeson is that Leslie Nielsen character? No. It was like, and I don't know. It was just too pushed too hard. I don't know. I didn't find it funny at all. And then the Nobody was the other one. Nobody 2, because there's a Nobody 1. And then that one was just one fight scene after another. Because these are new movies. And it's like, I don't know. It's just not very creative. And then Weapons, which was like fucking superior, I thought, in the creativity. And I thought this guy was, I really liked that one. And then this other one, and it's called The House. And I think it is, like, we haven't finished it, so I don't know. This is speculation, so it's not me doing spoilers. It's me talking through the movie. But to me, it is the same thing of stealing consciousness. And it has these old people, and it's Pete Davidson, troubled teen, foster kid, and now he's a grown-up man, but he still carries his problems. And but see, this is a thing too in this society realm, that foster kids or orphans, people that don't have anybody, are the easiest ones to make disappear. They're easy. Nobody's looking for them. And so, and if you are fishing for people who can just disappear easily, then there's certain ponds you would go to. And so that's kind of what I'm thinking, why he's working at this place, why he was pushed to go and get a job at this place. You know, you're troubled, this place, you need to go here, and then it's going to be good for you and stuff like that. I think that there's these places around in our society that is pulling, and I know that they switch consciousness. I know that that's, you know, I've seen so many movies of it lately too. And what was one of these movies? Because I kept on being like, this is like The Skeleton Key. So The Skeleton Key was kind of the first one, I think, that was really showing that, like, these people get to be older, and they lure in a young person, and then they do a ceremony or whatever, and then they take the young person's body. And then I've seen it in so many different movies, like The Elite, and even, I think that may have been even what they even started making clones. Maybe that was a part of, you know, making clones, making a shell for you to go into, a vessel. I mean, there's a lot of different scientists, a lot of different kooks, mad scientists, crazies out there, and they're all doing these wacko, weirdo experiments, but they're real. Like, that's real shit. Our technology is far advanced. Which, one of the things, my brother was just like, he don't want to eat the apricot seeds. He had the 2. He's like, no, they're disgusting. And he's not going to eat them. He's got all over. He's fine. He's been sick long enough. He's ready to go. And he's, don't even worry about me. I'm ready to go. And I was like, yeah, but the technology is changing all the time. I mean, they could tomorrow announce, like, we can cure anything. And would you be willing, you know, if that's what comes out? He goes, well, yeah, but he doesn't want to stay in his sick body anymore. And that happens a lot with people who've been sick for a long time. He's like, you know, it sucks. I just sit here. He's paralyzed on half of him. And so he's just like, no, this is, you know, it's not living. But the technology does change all the time. And anything can happen. So, but we're at this point in time with anything can happen. Like, he could not get up this morning, you know? I mean, anything can happen. And so, but also, we could get a big announcement today of, hey, guess what? It's new technology. We had no idea. And now, all of a sudden, it's mainstream. And just go into this bed. It's going to vibrate you, and then you're going to be healed. It's going to break down everything that's bothering you. So, you know, it's up there. and it's coming. We just don't know when. And there's going to be more technologies coming, and it's going to be, and it can be a smooth opening to it, where they're not going to make a big abrupt jump. It's going to be like, oh, look, we found this. This is good. We found this. This is good. Oh, look what we found here. Which it seems like that there's something coming, because guess who Donald had dinner with? And I would say, it's part of the show. It's part of the exposing of things. It's part of bringing something to the surface that we need to pay attention to, because that's what he's all about. He's the catalyst to bring your attention. And so, and people get so worked up. Oh my God. The MAGAs are, how pissed is one that I heard talking, pissed off. Like, oh, you're going to have dinner with them? It's like, you guys just don't see what's going on here. It's like, you got to look deeper. Like, what in the emotional fucking attachment do you got going on? And so, that's what you got to remember. When weird things are happening, it's like, okay, this is to expose things. This is to show things. This is to bring something out. It's the unveiling. It's the opening the curtain. And so, so to be share a meal with Gator, there, and then the person I saw was like, oh, he gives money, and he's going, what they're talking about. It's like, we're not going in this direction. We're not going in the direction that they're trying to expose. But people are like, oh, see, they're trying to take us there. They're trying to take us there. No, they're trying to expose. They're trying to get people to see the truth so that we can push into a different direction. They're not trying to take us there. They're trying to give the illusion that we could be there. We could go there. That's not what we want. We're going this way. But they've got to show you, because we've all just blindly been running. And it's time to start recognizing where it is you're running to. And so that whole thing is going to be for exposing things. It's not going to be because they're going in cahoots. Now, Donald's in cahoots with fucking Gator. Like, give me a fucking break. I don't even believe that's the original. I think the original was taken way back when Joe, Hillary, all them. And there's weird shit. Oh, the wiener, top of the lap, is right out there now. It's like, it's gonna, there's information going around that says that it can take down all this political system. It's gonna expose so much stuff. He's got way more than just a drip of a frazzle on that fucking thing. There's way more than the insurance policy. There's a lot of shit. And there's, I don't know if these are real or AI generated or what, emails from Huma to her brother, which, because I had also heard Huma was, partnered up with Hillary in the sack at times, and they are on the dripping video together. And so, but also, she says in this email to her brother, she'll do whatever it takes. She'll give a shit. But she, says what a kook Hillary, and needing it. Like, there's a whole bunch of stuff. Like, but it's all to expose. It's all to show us. Everything is coming out to show us, to wake people up. And if you know something, and then it pisses you off, then you guys see, like, well, other people don't know it, so other people are being shown it. And and this is where you got to learn to trust the spiritual side, that we're going in this certain direction. And you get yourself pulled back into fear, anger, and hate, then you're going to be going back into a direction that's going to help you purge that out. And if you can't just relieve yourself at this point and move forward, and you're holding yourself back and being angry and say, well, it's never going to happen. We're never going to get there. Well, then that's where you're never going to get there. But it's coming. It's definitely coming. And it's going to, the people who direct themselves into that are going to go. That's going to be the new creation of the new earth, the age of Aquarius. That's a creation from the people who can get there, the ones who can let go of this shit. And so even on, Because I was thinking my sister's coming in to trigger some shit in me. That's for sure. This is, to show me who I am. And one of the things is when somebody's showing you, don't be judgmental and harsh on yourself. It's just for you to see. It's just witness yourself. So witness yourself, but don't sit there and go in on yourself. And if you don't like something you do or say or your behavior or how you think or whatever, then that's your opportunity to do something different. Start changing it. Start going in the direction that you feel more comfortable in. But don't always feel like, well, you're going to go this way. It's going to be perfect. Nope. Someone's going to push you a little bit this way. Then someone's going to push you a little bit back over this way. Someone's going to push you. And it's just this maneuvering and maneuvering. So if you get stuck over here and you're just like, oh, I'm such an idiot. I can't believe it. I thought I was healed. And look at me. I'm sitting here asking her if she's drunk, laughing about it and stuff. Then... but do you get yourself stuck over there beating yourself down? Well, that's where you're going to stay stuck. So it's this maneuvering, it's this steering, it's finding balance. And it's, if the universe isn't going to sit and judge you, then why are you going to sit and judge yourself? It's not about judging yourself. It's about awareness. It's about seeing yourself. It's about being real with yourself and taking notice of yourself. And when you do take notice of yourself, it does put you in better behavior. It does put you in like, well, I don't want to hurt somebody's feelings. I don't want to be mean. And, I've only seen like part of one episode of that catfishing documentary. Oh my fucking God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. What in the hell? I swear to God. I'm like, fuck. Yeah, right here. It's like, just judge and Judge Judy and on this lady. Like, what the hell, though? Like, this mother? Fuck. Now they're even trying to come up with it's a diagnosis. It's online Munchausen or some bullshit. It's like, I think that this lady has got serious problems. That's what I think. I think she does have some obsession with a young boy. And the stuff that she will do and say to her daughter is like, Jesus, lady, get a fucking grip. If you don't have any idea, just go listen. Go listen to the first part. And I know, I said something yesterday at dinner, and my daughter was like, wait, because they were going to go watch it. And I said something about the mom, and she's like, she doesn't know who's doing it. And I said, well, the commercial shows. So I'm not exposing some big thing. The commercial shows who the person is who's doing it. I don't know that when you watch it, it's like, surprise. But they have a build-up because nobody knows who's doing it until it gets to this certain part, I guess. I don't even know how the mom gets exposed. But going into it and knowing who's sending these messages and listening to these messages is like, what who would, oh my God, damn. It's crazy. So I'm kind of interested to watch the whole thing now, but really it has tons of people talking, and it is definitely making waves. And, but back on this Pete Davidson one, so the home, which has these old people, and he's come now and is the super or whatever of this creepy old building, and there's all this weird shit going on there, but I think that it has something to do with some kind of body swapping, something like that. I'm not sure, but it seems like it's, getting a new body there, and then it's up for bids or something. I'm not sure how they decide who's getting it, but this has been just shown in so many movies. I just feel certain that this is what this is going to be about. But anyways, it's very creepy. It's definitely very creepy, and they are entering his astral realm. So there's his dreaming is like nightmares, which, fuck, I can relate to that lately. It's like his energies or something. It's like entering into this plane of existence or something, and maybe it's because it's trying to hold us back. I don't know. It's creepy as fuck. Because I've been having lots of fucking weird dreams where I'm like, what the fuck? So, then, let me think. Because I'd seen this was something my daughter and I were talking about the other day. And I saw this video this morning that was kind of talking about it. And I thought she made some really good points. And so, because there's all these girls that are going online and they're showing these, they're like opening the door to their relationship to the public. And the public is firing back and saying, what the hell, girl? You're like, get out of this relationship. What are you doing with this maniac? And the girls suddenly go into defense mode. Like, what are you talking about? Like, this is, you just don't understand our relationship. It's great. Everything's great. We're great. And you just don't understand. And so they become super, super defensive. They don't listen to all these people telling them, like, that's abusive, that's toxic, you gotta get out of that. And so they're very cut off from it. So this girl, she was saying, she was one of those people. She posted one of those. And as she got the backfire, you know, everybody was telling her. And she was like, what? What? And so then she went and she started asking the people around her, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? And they were all like, no, it's fine. It's just what relationships are, is what they are. And she's like, but the people online kept telling her things and pointing things out till it started making her think differently. Now she's divorced from him. And now she's the one who is speaking out to the other girls. Because there's this one that everybody keeps talking about. That this girl, she showed she was doing like an unbagging her lunch that her boyfriend made her, or her husband. I think it was her boyfriend. But he made her lunch for her. And she's showing it. And then the people in their response, but she became defensive. And my daughter said, what was in her lunch was a bag of cookies, and then I think there was another sleeve of cookies, and there was an old chipotle something, like an old salad or something. There was some old leftover stuff in there, and tons and tons of cookies. And then he put a couple baggies of dog food. And then he put a note in, because you're my dog. And everybody's like, oh my God. That guy's abusive. Like, why? And she's real defensive. Yo, you just don't understand our relationship. It's a joke between us. And people are just like, that is abuse. That's horrible. And so she's real defensive. So you have all these people, you know, talking about it. So this girl was talking about that she was one of those girls who was becoming super defensive when they were saying, but she's also saying how it becomes that way. So she said the problem is the way that person is. You have all those type of people around you. So she said certain things that everybody accepts. And so, and she's also said, one of the things is that when you have people who are different than that, the partner will push them back. So those relationships will fracture. So you end up being surrounded by all people that are willing to accept these certain behaviors. That is like, well, that's just the way it is. That's just, you know, or laugh at it or think it's funny or whatever. But she said, so you'll have all this certain personality type that is your influence. And so then when you're starting to question it and say, like, is this really normal? And they're all like, yeah, it's normal. It's normal. It's fine. It's perfect. And then you keep on being like, I don't know. Wait a minute. All these people are telling me it's not normal. And then you start going outside of the circle, then that kind of is a breakdown of because all these other people, they all think it's perfectly fine, but then you cross out and then you start looking at it through how other people are telling you. And so then she said she started noticing how toxic all these other relationships were around her. And some of them that were close, like her mom and her sister. She said her sister was the only one who kept telling her, this guy's no good. You gotta get away from him. You're a weird personality when you're with him. You're not yourself. And he's toxic. But a lot of other people would be like, oh, that's just a relationship. You just get over that. That's a relationship. But then it is like, once you make that ripple, then it makes other people question their relationships. So the things that they would accept. But in her relationship with her mom, she said that they have come a long ways now and that they have gotten better. But her mom was really supportive of him. She was one of the ones who were like, no, that's what a relationship is. You just stick it out and stuff. But that is also how this generational stuff happens, you know, like why the mom is cheated on and then the daughter gets cheated on, and then the mom tells her, well, you know, that's just the way it is, you gotta just ride the relationship out, you just stay with them and stuff like that. And so it just keeps going, this generational thing. But when somebody goes outside of the circle and starts getting information and then processes it and starts looking at it through other perspectives, then they start saying like, well, wait a minute, that's not good. And yeah, I'm going to have to leave. I'm going to have to do something different. Otherwise, I'm going to be stuck with this. And she even gave some stats. She said the final straw on her relationship was her husband threw a glass of water in her face. And she said that, and so many people are like, well, that's not abuse. But so many people don't, even the people who are abusive don't see themselves as being abusive if they're not to have you on the ground, punching your face in and kicking you in the ribs. They think, well, it's not abuse just because I went up next to your face and punched the wall, just because I spit in your face while I'm screaming at you, just because I throw something and it misses you, that's not abuse. And it's like that they come up with the parameter of what is abuse. And it's like they're overriding all of the things that are abusive that lead to worse and worse and worse behaviors, because it builds and builds and builds and builds. It's like, I got away with this, I'm going to go a little further. I got away with this, going to go a little further. And she said, if a guy is calling you a bitch, which my daughter and I had talked about this before too, is, you know, how people talk to you. And she said, if they start out, you know, calling you a bitch, it just builds up and builds up and builds up. And she said, you know, it could take 20 or 30 years, but you accept this behavior from this person, you know, eventually it leads to them just taking you out. They just can't control their anger. They get worse and worse and worse. And then, you know, they have you on the ground, punching your face in, kicking you in the head. And so it's like, you got to set a standard for yourself. You got to set parameters of yourself. And when you have generational generational perspective of not taking good care of yourself, not prioritizing yourself, not setting a good standard for yourself, and just, you know, whatever you get is what you deserve and all that stuff. You have got to be the one who says, hey, what? I deserve better than this. You know, I may be a whore, I may be a cunt, I may be a bitch, but I'm allowed to be whoever the fuck I want to be. And if you don't like me, then I don't need to be with you. If you don't accept me for who I am, I can't be with you. And be able to take that walk away, be able to take the steps to go in the direction of loving yourself, no matter who the fuck you are, no matter what the fuck you've ever done. Doesn't matter if you were a drug addict and then this person wants to throw it up in your fucking face all the time. Well, you're a whore. You slept with that guy and you did drugs. And because people do that, they'll like be with me. She was talking about when my daughter was telling me, because we were literally having this conversation the other day about this same dog food girl, and it was leading to more because she's on this algorithm where there's tons of these. And there's one where the girl, so she had a relationship with this guy when he was they were in high school together. Then she cheated on him at some point in this high school thing. And then, so now it's 15 years later, 2 kids later, he won't marry her. And every time they get in a fight, he's throwing it out. Like it's a sense of how he can control her. Well, if I let you go out, then you're just going to cheat on me again. It's like, you just hold on to some fucking bullshit, dude. You're going to push it. You're going to push it into happening because you're fucking holding on to it. You're the one creating what you don't want to have happen. You're making it happen. And so she was taking this cry. So she went online to talk about it because he keeps on holding this against her. This fucking thing that happened 15 years ago, throwing it in her face. And he says that's the reason he won't marry her. They got 2 kids together, been together 15 years, and he's not going to marry her because in high school she cheated on him. And so, anyways, she did leave him. She did get split up with him. And everybody, online's cheering, go girl, because it does take, believing it doesn't matter what you've done and what they want to keep telling you, you're a rotten son of a bitch because you did this. And if you're the person who's doing that to somebody, because there's a lot of people who do this, women do it to men too. It's not just men doing it to women. Women do it to men too. And just keep on throwing it up in your face. Oh, see what you did. See what you did. See how you acted. See who you are. You're just a rotten person. It's like, it doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't fucking matter if have been done or done stupid things or been rotten at any time in your life. That doesn't mean you don't deserve love. Doesn't mean you don't deserve respect. You got to respect yourself, though. You're the one who's got to step up and be like, hey, yeah, I've made some mistakes. I've done some dumbass shit, and I'm sorry I've ever hurt you. I'm sorry I've ever hurt anybody, but I still deserve to be treated with respect, and I learn from my mistakes, and I move forward. And you want to sit back here and just stomp your feet and keep being in the same mud puddle, then do it by yourself, because I'm out. And move forward to finding appreciation for yourself, learning to have value for yourself, learning your own, setting your own standards on giving yourself value. You don't have to be like, well, I can't get anybody worth a shit. I'm too fat, I'm too much a bitch, I'm a whore, did drugs, I'm this, I'm that, so I don't deserve anything good. I only deserve this, and I'll just set my standard here. So any old fucking crazy ass person who comes my way and throws me a bone, well, they're worth it. They give me worth. It's like, no, they're just at that fucking level of you hating yourself, and they're gonna fucking jump right on board. They can come in charming you, pulling you in, but bet your ass they're gonna be fucking bringing you down at some point. You have got to you got to elevate yourself. And so you're the one who has to pull yourself up. And then, yeah, you may find yourself being lonely, because everybody else wants to be in the cesspool of toxicity. And when you pull yourself up into giving yourself value, and there's not, it's a smaller pool. There's less people up in that area because we come from a society that is just beat down and it spends more time hating themselves. And even when they hate themselves, they're so trapped in the feeling that they go to the medical to ask them to take them out of it. And it's like, you are the one who has to bring yourself out. Mind, body, spirit. And your spirit is showing you how beat down and how much you hate yourself. Then, I don't know. I go to my spirit. I go to my, my communication. And I start, saying, hey, how do I get out of this? What direction do I go? Where, how do I move through this? And it plays out, like life plays out. What you put into it pulls you in the direction that you're trying to go. So you got to realize what it is you're doing, what direction you are keeping yourself in, and you are the one who's got to take action. And so then it just starts happening naturally. But again, you may find yourself as being like, single for a really long time because, well, I'm not going to date anybody who is not at this level. And I'm not going to, it's like, I don't know. It's, what's the point? I learned those lessons. I've already moved out of that energy. And so I'm in this other energy. And that is not, it's different. So it's not the same kind of things that are going to be playing out. The other stuff is lessons. It's all stuff that is good and valuable because it's teaching you. It's teaching you how to love yourself. It's teaching you your own value. It's teaching you that if you don't value yourself, nobody else is going to value you. And it's also, it is very generational. It's like it just flows through the generation. And it is important for you to take a step out of the patterns that feel the most comfortable. And, listening to people. That is a big thing. Listen to people who notice what you don't notice. And it can change your life. Like, that girl, it changed her life. The other girl, it changed her life. This poor dog food girl. And she's going to be making excuses. Yeah, well, I'm his dog. It's like, dude, but you want to be with somebody who really cares about you, who really loves you, who wants to, you know, if they're going to make your lunch, they're going to go in and just like, oh, I want to make something, just love, you know, show my love for this person. Not like, here, take this, take that. Oh, you can have some cookie. You know, it's like the laziest fucking lunch. And then you make it a joke. And then this is what this girl, it's like, I don't know, hopefully she has someplace to eat nearby or something. Vending machines or something, because, I don't know, I think it was garbage. So, anyways, that, let me think if there was some other stuff, because it seems like there was something else that was, okay, because that, getting irritated about Donald's dinner thing, which to me is exposing, and Zuck buying a bunch of shit. That guy is fucking, he's probably gone too. And all this stuff, all this billionaire hoarding money, all this stuff, that is the reversal of the fortunes. And they lose them all. He put them in his executive orders. They lose them all because of their crimes. And so you're involved in certain crimes, which we know the Zuck is fucking involved in crimes. He's manipulated. That is crimes against, there's crimes. And all that is flipping back into, going back into the people. So, you know, if there's some, you know, he bought 1 billion acres and got a good deal, or whatever the fuck. And that is probably going to be a freedom city. That's going to be a place where, hey, this land's all bought and paid for. Everybody come in, take a place, take your power. You know, it's going to be, how it's going to play out, we'll see. But when they're sitting here right now saying, oh, this person's buying this and this person's buying that, which, if you don't know who, you know, she just married Soros's kid or grandson or something. So it's like keeping it in the family. Like I've said for a long time, they're all sharing the same fucking Thanksgiving table. They're all at the same parties. These fucking people are fucking weird. But there's also other parties and other communities. But these ones that are way up there like that, they are in HUMA. She comes from a place just like Barack. So kind of like ISIS brought some people over here to take down this place, because some of it is kind of a religious war too. Like they think their information's better than these people's information, so they gotta take these people down. So it's all just, that's why some of this stuff is like, you know, it's been going on for centuries. And there's religious wars and stuff like that, and the battles of control and money. But the people, like I would say like the vamps, they use those people in like the ISIS, the CARTL, the SOROS, those people, they use them to infiltrate, to get control, to take us down, to create, because even on some of it is like, well, why would they create this religion if they want this religion? Because why would they create one party into another party? Why? They want to keep us divided. They want to keep us arguing. They just want to keep the fight going. Because the more we fight with each other, the more we stay disconnected, which that's a big problem for them when we connect. And that's why it's a big part of the change is the unity. It's the connecting. And that's why you got to get over your biases and over your hate and over all of your anger and stuff in order to really connect. And the people who can't get over that stuff and really connect into unity, they stay on the outskirts. That's why they don't become a part of this new reality that is created from the ones that can pull themselves out of the mainstream boxing match and pull themselves into a place where they can have unity. They can look around them and, accept people. Like, oh, well, part of it too is accepting about their perspectives and stuff. You don't have to control them. You don't have to, you just like, oh, and you can also learn from them. You can like, oh, you have a different perspective than me. Tell me about it. Let's hear. And then, but you don't have to just jump on board. Oh, that was the other thing, because this NPC thing. Because so the people still are so on the NPCs, and then the NPC. So now they've decided people who don't have an inner monologue, that they're NPCs, and the people who don't have an inner monologue are defensive because they are not. They say, we're not NPCs. Well, NPCs, non-productive player, whatever it is a video game. It's the same way as like people. You look at God and devils and angels, and then these people, their perspective is through this other thing. So then they think there's these non-players. There's lots of non-players in your world. They're out there playing out their own worlds, their own existences, their own lives. And everybody's here learning through different avenues, through different experiences. So everything going on around us is like, like, I don't know, being in a university and there's all these classes going on, and some of them are hands-on, they're all different, and everybody's learning in different ways and learning different topics and stuff. So it's like this giant university of knowledge and learning. And so the thing with the inner dialogue, so because I have strong inner dialogue, I spend most of my day in inner dialogue, which, some people can be like, well, you're an overthinker. And it just depends on how you look at things. But that's also a test on your discernment and stuff too, because not all the communication, well, for one thing, it's not all you. These people want to think like, well, I'm more advanced than them. I think for myself because I have an inner dialogue. Well, there's a lot to maneuver through an inner dialogue. And so it is like you're more open to communication, which there's a lot of lessons, which we're going to see a lot of people learning their lessons here when things become more clear to people. And so the inner dialogue doesn't automatically make you an advanced being over somebody who doesn't have an inner dialogue, because their lessons can be about following or something. And that's what their inner dialogue's turned off, and their focus is on something else because that's what their lessons are about. And their lessons are designed to go towards what they're here to learn and what they're here to wrap up. It's like taking things full circle. So it depends on what all your different lifetimes, what it is that your baggage, what you've put in your baggage, what you're carrying, trunks and backpacks and suitcases. It depends on what the baggage is you're carrying from life after life after life, what you're here to experience. So I'm not going to say every person who has an inner dialogue is a soulless being. They've got no soul. You can just have your inner dialogue turned off because you are here to experience what it is to be a follower. And because that was one of these people who was doing a video saying, I've got no inner dialogue and I'm not an NPC. I think it's weird, you people who just are constantly having things going on in your head that you have no quiet time. Like, yeah, like maybe quiet time is nice. I wouldn't even know what the fuck that is. And to be able to just close your brain down and just have nothing happening, like how will that work? And but it would just be, to me, it would just naturally occur. Like their volume is turned down. And the thing too about being on autopilot, I don't know that it's just all the people who have no inner dialogue, that they're all the ones in lower chakra. I think there's tons and tons of people who consider themselves awake who are in lower chakra. They are on their own autopilot, and they don't realize it because they have a sense of awareness and stuff, but they don't realize that they're reactive and they're triggered and they're reactive, and they don't realize what's really going on in the world. So that doesn't necessarily automatically make them be healed because they have an inner dialogue. It just is like these different formats of learning and growing. And it depends on what your lessons are. Depends on what you're here to learn. And that depends on what you're here to express, but what you're here to like relieve yourself, like to let go of. So anyways, I don't know, when you hear these people and they just get into this hierarchy and judgment and sit there and then to devalue somebody, that I don't, the one person, they like start being defensive, or no, what is that called, justifying themselves, that it's okay to say this person is soulless and has no, that they have no value. And that right there shows you are the one in judgment. You are the one in hierarchy. How do you think you understand every spiritual thing in the world? And you think you understand everything? And because you know the word NPC? But the whole thing with people who, like the NPC thing is just like another vague term to me, like thing, you know, like this is how I understand things from video games. There's people who have nothing to do with your life. They're like the players out there in the world, but they are playing their own fucking stories. And so to you, they can seem like, oh, it's just a person I passed in the street. They're not even real. Okay. Which there was a mailman who just did this story. This is trippy. So he said he had just started this route, and so he had mail, and he would stop at this house. He said it was this blue old house. It was like peeling paint, had this huge wraparound porch, and it would always be this old lady. She'd be sitting in the window. He'd go up at the mail. She'd meet him in the door, and she'd always call him son. And so he'd give her mail, and then he would, you know, go to the next house and the next house, the next house. And so he said yesterday he goes and he's got a letter for her, and that the house isn't there. It's just completely gone. There's no house whatsoever, and it's all grass and weeds and everything. And the mailbox is this old, rusted out, tilting thing. And so he's like, what the fuck is going on? Where the fuck is this house? So he asked the neighbor. He said, where'd that house go? And she's like, what are you talking about? There hasn't been a house there for 20 years. And he's like totally freaked out. And he said, not only that, the letter he was carrying felt cold to the touch. And when he was by the house where it was, he said he could just feel her. He could feel her watching him and stuff. But it was like he crossed into this other realm of time and space. It's, I don't know, it's trippy because life is so much different than what people think. And it is, I don't know, it's about realms and realities and your vibration and your experience and what you're here to experience and stuff. So anyways, but on the NPC thing, to me, that is just a way to say certain people have no value. Like that person, I don't know them, I don't see them, I don't know their life, they have no value, they're just an NPC. It's like, well, that's a problem with, you know, sociopaths that don't value other people. They just look at you as like, well, they don't matter. I don't feel anything. They're just an NPC. I can just take them out. They don't really matter. They're not a real person. They don't have a soul and stuff. It's like, what that wacky fucking shit. Like, that is such sociopathic thinking, to think that somebody has no value, they have no soul and stuff. Whether or not it's fucking true, we'll see. We'll see. But to be thinking like that, that's how sociopaths think. That's how the people who go around serial killing think. So, but also in the inner dialogue or the no inner dialogue, because some people also, they can't picture things in their mind. Like you tell them, picture an apple, they can't do that. Picture this, they can't use their mind to see, which I think that it probably has to do with training themselves. And so they're here to learn possibly how to train themselves to be able to go more into their inner vision. They're just too stuck on their outer vision, which have associated things to trying to please others, and there'd be lessons associated to it. And so the inner dialogue or outer dialogue, like I said, because even if you have a strong inner dialogue, it is not just you being a genius in awareness and stuff. It is communication. You are like an antenna, And so you're a receiver of information, and the more information you're capable of receiving is the more that you need to go through. It's like you look at it like a mail room that just keeps getting more and more mail, and you got to be going through it and going through it. It can be exhausting. But you would be learning how to use your discernment, how to be able to process all this different information, how to find yourself, to know yourself, and to understand yourself through all this information. And like I said, the ones who don't have an inner dialogue, there's lessons around that. There's lessons about that. The ones that are in lower chakra, which I said is going to be out of both groups. It's so weird. But that is when you are in your lower chakra. So when you're down in your root, in your sacral. So down in is where your reproductive organs and stuff is, where you stuff things. It's where you hold on to things. So the root is where it can become like your disease, and that's why a lot of people have like sexual dysfunction. Well, I mean, and sexual dysfunction is also the weird fucking shit that people are doing, feeding into fetishes and stuff is sexual dysfunction. And so you're holding all that stuff in there, and then you're seeing it playing out. And that's why you heal those wounds, and then the energy starts moving up into other places, and it will move up in your heart chakra. It will show you a lot about people who are hurting you, people who are close to you. So there's a lot of things that you have to overcome. And when you are in that area, and it can be associated to the root and the sacral, but that's where you got to start pushing that energy up. You got to start releasing. And it's real easy because we have a society that is so built on not connecting and just having sex with strangers and having really kooky sex and fetishy, like all this weird shit. So that stuff is showing you something's up, something's wrong. As soon as you put your focus into the questions of trying to understand it, it's going to start moving up. You're just going to start going up towards your heart and stuff, and it's going to start showing you the injuries, the things that have hurt you. And it can be from other lives and stuff. And then if you are not open to that, then you're going to be really confused. But so it will start moving you up into the places that damaged your heart, your soul, your love, where you were kicked down, beat down, you had loss and all that stuff. And then it's got to keep moving up. And when it gets up in your throat, that's you being able to speak your truth, which is a huge thing from life after life after life. We've been shut down and shut up life after life after life. You've been killed for speaking up. You've been, it's a big fucking area to move into for your healing. And so going into that, and then that's where you have so many people have got, we've got so many people who've got heart problems. So many people have got lung problems. So many people have thyroid problems. So many people have throat problems. So many people have brain problems. So we've got problem after problem because it is all areas that show you where you need to have healing. And so you get up to your throat. It's going to be individual. It could be just speaking up for yourself. It could be just in a room. It could be just with a partner. And you always put yourself aside. You don't speak up. You don't speak your truth. You always are hiding. And eventually you got to be able to speak your truth, to say how you feel, to put yourself out there, to be vulnerable. So you speak up for yourself. That is clearing your throat chakra. And then you'll keep moving. And then when you get up into your crown, when I got up into my crown, it was like a party opened or something. It was like it was so fucking much noise. See, that can have to do with inner dialogue and being able to decipher through a lot of information, and you have a lot of stuff coming in, and you've got to be able to sort through it and figure it out, and to be able to recognize who you are, what parts you play, all this information coming in isn't just you. It's a lot. And it has to do with vibration and stuff. So anyways, there's a lot to it. And but that the being on autopilot, which I think is I don't know, at first I thought that's what they were referring to as the NPCs, because they were just on autopilot. They're just going through life. But so many of them don't realize they're on autopilot, because they're just being reactive. It's when you're reactive, it's when you're not thinking things through, like something happens and you just react. That is your programming. So it's life after life, the things that have programmed you to react in these certain ways. So it's you not being mindful and thinking and developing into an emotionally mature and considering and going through all the details, reflecting and sorting through the mail, trying to understand yourself. That is the healing part, was going through that and taking yourself out of autopilot. But autopilot's where you're at when you're down here and you're just reacting. This person says this, you just have an automatic response. This person does this, you have an automatic response. It's not just the fact that people are not, they trust the news because they have no inner dialogue. It's like, you know, those are part of their lesson. I mean, that's what this one guy was saying, like, you guys are weird. You have all this inner dialogue. He said, I don't have to sit and think about stuff all the time. If I want to know about something, I'll just go watch the news or go watch something and then find something I trust, and that's what I'll believe. And then all these people are like, see, that's an NPC. And these other people are like, yeah, that's normal. And so then they're saying, oh, you're just trusting AI. It's like, everybody's got to quit pointing at everybody else, saying, you're doing it wrong, you're doing it wrong, they don't even fucking understand what the fuck's going on. They don't even understand what life is about. They're like, well, you're doing it wrong. It's like, fucking go try and figure out what life's about. Go try and figure out what the hell you're doing here. And it has to do with spiritual. And that's the other thing, too. It's like, people are so stuck on this is what's real, and your soul is some vague thing. Well, maybe you have a soul. If you're fucking have an energy that is powering you, you're plugged into something. You're something that keeps you alive. There's something that's got you going. So that is your soul. And I swear to God, it's the best thing in my fucking life is to come out of my body and see, like, you are. You don't need any of this. You are who you are. And this is the illusion. And so, but people just get caught into this. And this is what's real. It's like, no, it's fucking not. So when you can pull yourself into getting into the spiritual part, like, what is your soul doing here? Why is your soul going through this? What is your soul experiencing? What does it have to do with all of your soul's lives and your whole expression of self? Like, it's so much deeper, but people don't go into that part. They're so superficial, they're so shallow, they're so judgmental, they're so hateful. So anyways, that's what I would say, you know, try and pull yourself into the spiritual side of life and stuff, and don't get caught up with these, you know, oh, these people are NPCs, they have no value. These people are just like, oh my God, it's so fucking wacky. And it's so fucking built on this hierarchy of I'm better than you. And I swear to God, I just feel so sure that people who don't have any inner dialogue, it's so they can learn, you know, it's to just quiet the noise so they can have a focus in their learning, whatever it is that they're here to learn. And then when they start focusing on their internal or their gifts, then they probably, some of them are just going to unroll real quick. They're going to be fucking gifted as fuck. It's once the lights come on, once the thing comes and everything is open. But right now, it's like, I don't know. It's a guessing game, and everybody's guessing wrong, if you ask me. So I just say the whole fucking thing is just get your focus onto your soul. Get your focus onto the unseen. And why do you even have a body? Mind, body, spirit. It's to show you. It's to show you what it is. It's like your barometer. It's like your temperature gauge in life. It's like showing you something, but people override it. And then they run to the doctor. Oh, give me something for it. Shut this fucking bitch down. It's like everybody goes at life the wrong way is what I see. And so, I'm right there, you know. Am I in the hierarchy? I feel like it is that I just want to help people to see what they don't see. And, you know, I don't want to be judging people, just saying they're a bunch of dumbasses. But it's just, it's like, you just hear people constantly just saying all this stuff that is just bullshit, all fucking time. So, anyways, that's what I'm saying. That's my mood of the day. Well, I'm not gonna say it's the mood of the day. I'm gonna finish that movie today. So then, well, I don't know if I should say, because I don't want to spoil it if anybody wants to watch it, because it is creepy if you like creepy movies, and they are like, they're fucking showing stuff. They're showing the truth that's out there, if you ask me. So anyways, I'll just go ahead and check the hair, see if it's growing much. I think that is getting longer right there. It's weird too, because if that is a DHT blocker, and the DHT, if you got too much DHT, it makes your hair fall out, then what though is keeping it from growing? Why wouldn't it just be growing, but falling out? So, but I've got a lot of shit, man, because there's a lot. B12, iron, zinc, biotin, and so, I don't know, but it does seem like it's getting somewhat longer. And my hair just grew. I swear to God, I used to think my hair grew fast, but I don't know. It's like, like I've said, it's like you're trying to climb a waterfall with your health. I swear to God. So, like we're fighting against it, but I mean, they're still fucking sitting there saying, well, they're gonna take RFK out. It's like, Jesus Christ, this drags. So, anyways, oh yeah, what to say? Because I haven't had because I put a bunch of aloe vera on my eye before I left, but there's definitely a thing right here that I still haven't gotten rid of. So even though my eyes get clearer and clearer and I see better and better and better, which is pretty weird, because when I'm around all these people and everybody's needing glasses and stuff, it's like, I've got good vision. And the only thing is when I'm trying to read something small, sometimes I've got to, like I can pull my phone up and make it go bigger so I can see, because some of the writing they do so motherfucking small. But when I'm trying to just switch over and like read something small, like go from this to this, just look at it and give your eyes time to change. Don't just look at it and go, oh, it's just a blur. Well, give it time. Keep looking at it, and let your eyes get used to it, and then you'll start being able to read it. I think a lot of times people just like go too fast, and they're like, well, I can't read that. But I mean, my eyes really were getting bad. I was going through readers, like I was getting stronger ones and stronger ones and stronger ones. The point is like, fuck, dude, I can't see shit. But I can see so much better now. But there definitely is, switching from bigger, and then going into smaller and smaller. You do have to sit there for a minute and look and be like, okay, let it come into clarity. Don't just go like, oh, that's a blur. I can't see it. No, look at it for a few minutes. And then let your eyes, reevaluate, whatever it is. Let them tune in. Let them, don't just rush through everything. It's just rush. So, anyways, but I was looking at my tooth again. It definitely looks way better. Definitely, I feel like it's on the, getting, way more better. Like, I don't know with this lighting, but when I was in the bathroom with the better lighting, it was like, dang, it's looking way better. So, it still has some sensitivity, like, especially, like, if I touch right in there, it's definitely sensitive, but it doesn't just have that constant aching or whatever, but it's definitely getting better. So, I have been using the P6 toothpaste. That's the one I brought with me, but I was using it a bunch of times before I left anyways. But also I have the Uncle Harry's mouthwash, which is the probiotic, and it's got a bunch of stuff in it. And then the peroxide. So peroxide too. So anyways, but you just got to try a bunch of things. Just because something is working for me, you got to still, figure out your own stuff. So I can't just guarantee like, oh, it worked for me, it'll work for you. And don't, and there could be other things that work better. Because this is like almost a year in. I think it will be November. Will be a year that I broke my tooth. And so Uh, that's how long it's been taking. But your teeth do grow back just like your nails. But this, my toenail, I had back, it was a long time ago. I water skied all the time. I snowboard when my kids were younger and stuff. And I was doing a lot of that stuff, sports and stuff. I was water skiing all the time. And and one day I was walking and I hit my toenail on something and my toenail came off, my big toenail. And then it happened on the other one too. I was like, what the fuck? So both of my big toenails came off. I was like, I don't know if it was like fungus from the water, if it was keeping my toes too waterlogged and pushed down by the rubber thing on the skis or whatever. So I don't know what caused it. But the one toenail, it grew back faster, but the other one, it was, oh my God, it's taken so fucking long. It's like 25 fucking years of having this toenail grow back, and it's been all fucking funky and weird for so long. Well, now that I've been on all of these different minerals and vitamins and all that shit, now it's starting to do way better. So that's another thing too. If you find something and it's just not working, it's not healing, you could still be deficient in something. So now though, it's grown back, would show up and it'd be like way too hard. And I don't even think you could see that well, but now it's like looking almost like it's totally normal and it's back to being perfectly fine. There still is kind of a thicker part to it, but still it's come so far. I can't even fucking believe it. So, and that's taken a long ass time. So some of this stuff, like, we want quick fixes, but you know, we have repercussions of being poisoned and not taking care of ourselves for a long time. So anyways, this is the way it is. So anyways, just remember, all this shit, it is important for you to love yourself, because if you don't love yourself, I'm telling you, nobody's gonna love you. Nobody can replace the love. If you don't love yourself, nobody can replace that love. You're only gonna feed off of it. So it is vital, I swear to God, to learn how to love yourself, to learn how to love everybody else. And you can have the day you want to have. You gotta just learn how to direct your energy, what to focus on, what to pay attention to. So I'm just going to say it every fucking day. Learn how to love yourself, learn how to love everybody else, and learn how to have the day you want to have. Anyways, but I'll talk to you tomorrow. Talk to you later. Bye.